Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Wednesday night live stream. This is live chat, so I want you to participate with me tonight. I'm Justin Chamness, and I'm with shutupmoney.com. So if you want to check out what we're doing tonight, you can start at shutupmoney.com. I've got that scrolling along the bottom of the screen here. But don't forget, on your way there, to pick up the free course that I'm giving away, to put something in the chat here and just say hello to me. All right. It helps me feel less lonely. You know, being on a live stream can feel kind of lonely without you, without your participation. And we always have such a good group here that shows up on Wednesday night. And everybody always participates so nicely in the chat. So first of all, let me say a heartfelt thank you so much for supporting this live stream. I love you so much. Go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat and then let me know what topics. Hey, what's going on, Daniel? It's good to see you. And it's good to see everybody here. Go ahead and put something in the chat. Let me know you're here because I want this to be interactive tonight, because tonight we're talking about outsourcing your business, okay? We're talking about everything you need to outsource your business in the next hour. That's it. Isn't that nice? Man, that's a lofty goal, isn't it? Everything you need in the next hour. Well, I'm making the promise right now that I'm going to equip you with everything you need to outsource your business in 1 hour tonight. That's right. So I don't like half measures. I don't like things, if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, one of the things you're going to have to do is you're going to have to adopt a spirit of excellence about yourself, in a sense. All right. Now, you can be sloppy. You can be relaxed. You can be a slob. You can be all these things and still be successful. Are there successful entrepreneurs that are like that? Absolutely. Maybe you might even say a lot of them are. But when it comes to your mission and your work, you got to adopt a little spirit of excellence about you. So I like to make bold statements like, I'm going to give you everything you need in this next hour. All right. You see here, this is a great illustration of somebody cutting corners. I thought this was huge, everybody. I thought this was majorly impactful on my life, on my day. All right. The distance between winning and losing. Oh, it's only about a foot. Or is this saying the distance between winning and losing is really going all in, or just kind of making the motions? All right. We're all guilty of that a little bit, making the motions. So I don't want to give you any short measures tonight. I want to completely and totally in 1 hour give you everything you need to outsource your business. That's right. Here's what the normal investor is. All right. I saw this meme and I have to share it too. Call them. I sent them an email. Okay. Here's the coach telling the investor, hey, you better call them. Well, I sent them an email. Okay, well, it's better to call them. Well, I also texted them. Just call them. I'll send them another email. All right, so no half measures tonight. No short measures at all. What we want to do is we want to get everything packed into tonight that you need to get this outsourcing done. All right. First of all, let's talk about outsourcing and get the ground floor established here a little bit about the topic. First off, I do want you to go to shutupmoney.com, and I'm going to put a QR code here. If you want to scan this, you can go to the website that I'm talking about, shutupmoney.com. You can get the free course. All right. In exchange for your email. And in that free course, there is a new module. Okay. Woo, there's a new module. And this is the outsourcing to VAs module. I have a lot of experience in outsourcing to VAs, mostly because this business has parts that I don't like, right? I think we can all agree that this business and any business really has parts that you don't like, right? So, absolutely outsource those. But let's talk about something. I've got a rule. While you're going to get the free course, which has the new free module in it, okay, I want you to recognize there are two things here that you must employ if you're going to be a successful modern day entrepreneur. Absolutes. And that is, you have to recognize there's a rule that you should never ever continue doing a task yourself that you could either automate or outsource. Okay, two different things. Automate or outsource. All right. There are some tasks that nowadays you can automate, meaning REI Reply automates a lot of text blasts so you can set it and forget it. I uploaded recently about 5,000 for sale by owner records from Zillow into my REI Reply, and I set the message, I set the schedule, I hit go, and now it's automated. Okay, so there's automation, which is machinery, technology, software. Anytime, I want you to adopt the policy right now in your business. Anytime you can, I want you to automate everything you can. All right? Maybe write that down. In my business, I am going to, anytime I can, automate everything I can. Automate it. Remove the human element. When you automate, you remove the human element. Okay? The next thing would be, if you don't automate, then you outsource the rest. Okay? So your main tasks of the job, of the business, right, of producing money, it involves certain ritualistic type tasks and routines. Can you, first of all, automate some of these? And I'm going to show you tonight that you can, and I'm going to show you, and I'll tell you the story of how I have, but I also will share with you tonight a checklist so that you can start from where you are and begin the process of either automating or outsourcing. But that's the first question you got to ask yourself as an entrepreneur. Number one, is this task here, especially if it's a repetitive task, is it automatable? I don't know if that's a word or not. Can I automate this? Or if I can't, can it be outsourced? Okay, that's the latter. All right. So you want to do that with absolutely everything in your business that you can, because didn't you get into this business for the freedom that it could offer you, right? You got into this business so not so you could take orders anymore or have another job. All right. I love to remind my students in my one-on-one sessions that, hey, listen, you did not get into this business to be miserable. So why are you acting like so sad tonight? All right. Yes, you missed your calls today. Oh, I get it. Okay. Well, you know what? You missed your calls in your business. So are you going to beat yourself up for how long? All right. In other words, you're being a bad boss and a bad employee. All right. So you need to straighten up. Nevertheless, I've got a checklist for you. You're going to get started tonight outsourcing. Go ahead and go to shutupmoney.com and let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to share screens real quickly here, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the outsourcing your business. You can see I'm at the free course. All right. Somebody scan the QR code. Thank you so much for doing that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and throw another QR code up here in the corner. If you want to grab that, you can also come here where we are now, where you're seeing me sharing the screens on the free course. That will get you there. All right. You can see here, there is a menu. We cover every strategy, right? Well, for the most part. And these are really for you to be getting a good ground level knowledge of being a transaction engineer in creative real estate. Okay. Now, next to that, you can see there's a module now that's brand new that's outsourcing to VAs. Now, I want you to click that when you get in here. And also, take some time to go ahead and hey, these flashcards are amazing. All right. We have people that are giving us good reports about the flashcards, like this, for example. And this is not the only one. Hey, received the rebuttal. He called them rebuttal flashcards because they got a lot of objection answers for this creative real estate business. There's 70 cards. All right. So anyway, you might check that out. It's next level. Okay. So it might not be for you. Okay. Because if you're not really serious about saying the right stuff on the phone and getting deals, then this is the real. This is the real. Okay. All right. Now, while you're here, you've clicked the outsourcing to VAs. You're here now. Slide down, and you can see I've got here a kind of a little introduction where I talk about outsourcing, how I have structured mine in my business in the past. Okay, because I've had to structure this several times and learned through hard knocks, many a hard knock. Okay. Many a hard knock. All right. And I've learned eventually that, hey, you need a Western Hemisphere team. And that's what this is talking about. Okay. Western Hemisphere team. All right. So, what about those Filipino VAs, Justin? Those are the $5 ones, the cheap ones, the inexpensive ones. Yeah. Well, what about them? We're going to use them. Okay. Hey, don't forget we're not done, but you do need a Western Hemisphere team. Well, what do you mean? Like somebody in my own hometown? Well, it could be. Doesn't have to be. I've enjoyed using Canadian. I've used Jamaican. I've used Mexican. I've used Western Hemisphere. Could be South American. What I'm reaching for here is that your acquisitions powerhouse has a operations manager that is Western Hemisphere. Okay, so you have a team leader that's getting paid, $10 an hour plus bonuses. Well, what bonuses, Justin? Well, it's all in the workbook. Okay. And here's the dispositions dynamo. This is the Western Hemisphere plus the Philippines synergy team. All right. Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, what it looked like for me is Western Hemisphere operations manager with a Filipino VA. A Western Hemisphere dispositions manager with a Filipino VA. Okay. What do you mean they had a VA? Yeah, they had a VA. Okay, not me had a VA. All right. I didn't have 4. I had 2. They each had 1. It really works better that way. Okay. All right. So that's the dispositions dynamo. All right. Proven shut up money VA process checklist. Setting the stage for success. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, I'm going to provide you a checklist, crafting your dream team, guiding your virtual assistant's ascension, unlocking success, a secure note on password control. Okay. We probably ought not skim past this. But as you venture forward, into this virtual assistant outsourcing, you're going to want to be mindful of what you allow access to, okay? You may not want them to have passwords for everything, or there may be certain things that you want them to have passwords. There may be some applications where you can add them as a team member with limited powers or not. But my point here is be very careful that you are, not giving them something that can hurt you. Okay, I'll give you an example. Everybody want an example? Before we jump into this checklist, let me give you an example. Okay, I've had about, I don't know, I should have counted them. I'm going to guess at least a dozen or more virtual assistants, squads, teams, what have you, you name it. Agencies, firms, I've had them all. Okay, here's the thing. None of them have lasted forever. All right, none of them last forever. And that is just the nature of life. Okay, everything has an expiration date. VA relationships have an expiration date. So what's important for you to understand is that, see, I have successfully built this out through hard ache, okay, and hardship. And I'm going to lay out the roadmap for you tonight in such a way that you'll be able to construct it as well, okay? Now, with that being said, I am also in a reconstruction phase myself, okay, because things happen, okay? And I am reconstructing my team as I speak as well. All right. So we're kind of in the same boat in this respect. So I want to share with you tonight, as an older brother who's been here, who's done this, and who is doing it yet again. And I'm inviting you to come along with me. And let's get the freedom going. Okay. Let's get the freedom going. All right. So I'm going to share screens again, and let's jump right into this checklist. Okay. We're going to jump into the checklist. And you can see if you click the workbook, everybody, there's a button at the bottom of that page that takes you to the workbook. The workbook here is the roadmap. All right. It's everything you're going to need. All right. So empower your virtual assistant dream team. This is what we just read. Okay. So it's all right here in the workbook. And then if you slide down just to the next section is the Shut Up Money VA process checklist. Boom. Okay. This is where we should start right now. Okay. So if you're following along with my little workshop here, then you're right here on this page of the workbook. Okay. And it's a workbook because I want you to print this out and use an ink pen if you want, or just use a digital version and start filling it out. But if you download this to your computer, it'll be there for you for forever. All right. So right here, you can see number one, you have to decide what tasks you want to outsource. Lead gen or pre-qualification calls. That's what I recommend you start with. Okay. I recommend you start by hiring a virtual assistant that will help you in your daily lead gen and seller lead pre-qualification tasks. And I'm going to give you the equipment to make this happen tonight. All right. If you're excited about it, show me some love in the chat. All right. Because everybody's all quiet tonight. And in fact, I don't know what's going on out there in the world. But it's a crazy world, but it's a great opportunity for you and me to make money. All right. I don't mean to sound heartless. I'm just saying, in this opportunity laden world we live in, you have choices to make. And I hope you're making the ones that lead you to checks and not the ones that lead you to broken necks. Okay. Let's go here. Decide what tasks. Okay. I recommend both lead gen and pre-qual. You can get a VA to do both. Now, here's what you need to decide going in the front door. Hourly wage. And we're talking about a Western Hemisphere VA. All right. We're talking about a Western Hemisphere VA. A Western Hemisphere VA, again, let me repeat, means Canada, They get a nice bump on exchange rate. What about Jamaica? All right. I love new American reggae. Oh man. All right. I love Anthony B. That's so good. Cali Buds. All right. All right. You can get a great virtual assistant out of Jamaica or the Caribbean. You can get a great virtual assistant out of Mexico. Yes, you can. Absolutely. But you're going to want to qualify these and make sure they're the right stuff. I'm going to equip you with what you got to have. All right. But you need to decide going in what you can afford to pay. I recommend $10 plus bonuses. How much bonus, Justin? I recommend $10 an hour. But wait a minute, Justin, that's a lot of money. $10 an hour. Yeah, but if you start them at 2 hours a day, okay, they're going to fit you in with a bunch of other jobs they have, but you need to make sure they can dedicate 2 hours strictly to you. And they're going to give you 2 hours of their day for $10 an hour plus bonuses. And I'm going to tell you what those are too. So let's just do the math. 2 hours a day times 5 days a week. That's 10 hours a week times 4.335. That's 40. What? I don't know. I don't know. See, that's the extent of my brain power. But look, we're not talking a lot of money. $10 an hour times 10 hours a week. That's $100 a week. Okay. You could outsource this business to a Western Hemisphere VA for $100 a week. Okay. And if you're asking yourself, how could I afford this? Then you're probably not ready for this. However, let me put it in perspective. Please, can I put it in perspective for someone? I have a 19-year-old. I have a 19-year-old son that I love dearly, and he for a little while was driving DoorDash. He could make $100 in a night. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so if you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm just recommending, please approach this business. And God, I wish Zach Ginn would get on this train with me. Somebody can share this video. I wish he would get on this train with me and start preaching this too. Okay, but would you please approach this business with the level of respect that it deserves? Instead of trying to do it in the cheapest, most pitiful way possible. Okay, I'm not trying to scold anyone. I'm just saying, God, I love this business. This business has put food on my table and clothes on my children's backs, wheels on my car, a roof on my house. House that's paid for. Children that have a future. Okay? And then I see people approach this business like, oh, $10 an hour, that's too much. I would never, you need to get a virtual assistant that'll pay $1, $2, $3 an hour. Okay, yeah, do you want that? Do you want that? You get what you pay for, people. So I'm sorry, but tighten the belt somewhere else and hire a Western Hemisphere VA. I'm sorry, I'll get real preachy. I'm going to back down. Decide what work hours you want them to work, and you're going to have them stick to this. Make it 2 hours a day to start. And make it, hey, listen, I might not have a full 2 hours worth of work at first, but you're gonna get paid for 2 hours, but I want an hour and a half. If I ask for an hour and a half, that's what I want. If I need the full 2 hours, I want a full 2 hours. If one day every now and then you need to stay over 20, 30 minutes and do 2.5 hours, I want you to do it too. Okay. But you need to set the work hours. You need to set what the wage is already before you go into negotiations. All right. The tools you'll need to communicate with your VA and the tools your VA will need. Are you going to use a dialer? Are you going to use a caller? Are you going to use whatever it is, whatever CRMs, whatever? Okay, you need to decide. And you also need to decide now how you're going to handle passwords. Okay. And then you need to step into step 2, and you need to go over here to upwork.com. That's where you're going to find a virtual assistant. You can also find them by posting a job posting on Fiverr.com. And there are some other places that you can find virtual assistants. Usually they are beating down your door every day from the Filipino world, okay, or from the Eastern hemispheres, right? Countries. All right. So, yes, they're all over. All right. I could blindfold you, spin you around, ask you to throw a rock, and you'd probably hit one. There's virtual assistants everywhere. Oh my gosh. There's a plethora of virtual assistants. I don't think that word means what you think it means. You might want to get Skype. That's how I recommend you use Skype, and you can buy a local phone number, local to US, and your virtual assistant can use it. You can phone into unlimited into the United States or Canada. You will need a Dropbox or a Google Drives folder or something that you can communicate and share files with your virtual assistant. You will need something like woofoo.com. Woofoo.com right here. Woofoo. If you've never heard of Woofoo, it's WUFOO.com. Woofoo.com. Just like right here in the corner. And it is a web form builder. And so you're going to go there and you're going to build a web form, and it's going to have all of the pre-qualification script right here. See what I've done? This is the pre-qualification script. And you're probably like, wow, can you share that? Yes, I share this with my virtual assistants. Okay. And now when they're working, they can take this. I share this link with them. All right. And then when they want to pre-qualify a lead, they pull this up and they start filling in the blanks, addresses, phone numbers. Here's the script. Hi, my name is blank. That's their name. We saw your house for sale on the internet. We are interested in buying a home. Now, what happens when they get done filling out this Woofoo form is I get an email, and the lead is added to a spreadsheet, which also then triggers, this sounds crazy, but it also triggers Zapier, which also adds it to my Trello CRM. All right. Now, you might have a different system, and that's fine. That's my old school cheapy system. But, and I was just lecturing everybody about not approaching this business all cheapskate and everything. But I am also I'm a tight ass too. But at the same time, I'm willing to spend the money to make the wheels turn. Okay. All right. That's my point. All right. So anyway, what you'll do is you'll create, so you'll need some tools like this. And why I'm bringing this up now is, well, one, it's a tasty treat here. I feel like this is a little gold nugget here, this Woofoo stuff. But this is also important because you're going to want to establish that before you go hiring a VA, because this is one of the tools you're going to want them to have. Okay. I also have a tool that virtual assistants on my team can access. That's a form that is it is a cash buyer qualification form. So if we're pre-screening cash buyers, they can fill in information about cash buyers. Okay. Why is that important? Because the owner of the business needs to contact really good cash buyers. That's why. And so I want to be notified as they pre-qualify these. This is just smart, automated, and outsourced business. All right. This is not a popular topic. Almost everyone has stopped watching, and it's either because A, I'm boring, B, I've offended you, or C, this information just does not apply. I don't know. Maybe you're just not interested because I just can't afford $100 a week. All right. That's all I'm saying is, you got to approach this business with a certain level of respect, everybody. All right. And I'm fine not being the most popular guy. I don't really give a shit. Be honest with you. You're not paying my bills anyway. You're not my source. And I like that about my life. That's the whole point of shut up money. The whole point of shut up money is shut up. I don't care. All right. Now, step 3, tips on managing your first virtual assistant. Make what you want crystal freaking clear. If you don't make it crystal clear, you're going to get what you don't want. I'm going to give you material to help you with this. Okay. As we move forward, you probably already skimmed through the workbook and you already see. All right. That's probably why everybody dropped off. They're like, oh, hell, I got the workbook. Yeah, you know what? I don't care. Again, you know what? I'm not doing this just because I don't know. Honestly, I love you. That's why I'm doing it. Okay, here we go. Commit to interacting with this virtual assistant every day for the first little while. I have students that come to me and they tell me, hey, Justin, we are really not having a good time with our virtual assistant. They're really not being very efficient. And here's the problem every single time. Every single time your virtual assistant is not performing up to par, it is because either A, you hired the wrong person, which is maybe what happens in some cases, but generally you have a good VA. What happens is that you did not have your expectations or the tasks written down in such a way that you could communicate it to the virtual assistant in a crystal clear fashion. Because if it's not crystal freaking clear, and let me give you an example of crystal freaking clear. I want you to log in to this account here with this password and every day at this time for this long. And while you're logged in, I want you to click this button and then go here and examine this. And if it fits this parameters, do this and such. If it doesn't, then do this. Okay. And then when you're done, I want you to email me. Okay. Maybe you put that on the end. You should. All right. Here's the thing. If you're failing with your virtual assistant, that's why. 9 times out of 10, what I find is with my students, you're not being successful with your virtual assistant because your expectations suck. They are not clear to the virtual assistant. All right. So make your expectations clear. There's other good advice here for you. Go ahead and sink your teeth into some of that. I will say inspect what you expect. If you hire a VA and you teach them what you think you teach them what to do, and then you expect them to do it, but you don't look into it every day, at least for a good little while, like maybe the first month, I guarantee you they will get the whiff that you are not around and you don't give a shit and you're one of those people who's experimenting with business, you're not a serious entrepreneur, and I'm going to take your money and play games with you. And how do I know that? Because it's happened to me like only a lot. Okay. And I've been caught up in it, sending shoes and shit to, trying to send shoes to Bangladesh and, you know, I, all kinds of weird stuff, and it's not weird, but it is weird because this is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to run a business, not make donations to the village. And I've been in some bad VA deals. Okay. So I've learned that you have to inspect what you expect from these people. Okay. No matter where they're from. Okay. No matter what country, commit to it. All right. And I've given you some tips here in the worksheet. So go ahead and peruse the worksheet. Let's move forward. We're off of the checklist now. Go ahead and sink your teeth into the rest of the checklist, but check out here is an ad that you can use on Upwork.com, or you can use this on Fiverr.com, or you can use this on some other sites that host. You can use this on Facebook, even your business page, and use this as a template basis. Okay. You can change this, modify this to make it yours, copy and paste this and make it yours. Okay. But this is just simply an ad. Okay. The next thing here is the first message to VA prospects. Okay. All right. So what are you going to say the first time a VA responds to your ad? Okay. You've got this ad up. Let's say you put it on Upwork.com and you're like, oh, well, wait a minute. What is that? What is that? Those sites? Hey, all that's in the checklist. Okay. So don't worry about that. All that's in the checklist we just went over. All right. Upwork, Zoom, Skype, Dropbox. All right. It's all there. Here's the ad. We put the ad up on Upwork or somewhere. You get somebody responds. Here's what I want you to say to them the first time they respond to you. Okay. Change it up. Make it yours. Put your name at the bottom. Okay. Don't send the brackets that says your name. Okay. All right, man. I've got, like, for real, man. There's some students out there that really, God help you. I mean, really pay attention to what you're doing, please. Okay. Because this is important business. All right. Make sure you're watching what you do. Okay. All right. And if I didn't listen, if I was just here to sell shit, I wouldn't tell you this, because this is so fucking horribly negative tonight. And I'm sorry, but really, for real, I just feel like it's important. If you can't be serious about this business, don't be. All right. Now, anyway, love you. I'll go on. All right. VA interview questions. Okay. Here's what you're going to ask the VA when you interview one. I suggest that you get 2 or 3 lined up to interview that you feel like would be a good fit after messaging them back and forth a little bit. And I just gave you the first message you should send them. Message them back a little bit. And then when you find 1 or 2 or 3, set them all up, okay, to interview them. And then you can use these VA interview questions as a basis for running the interview, okay? I told you I was going to give you the hookup on this, and there's more good stuff coming, all right? But this VA interview questions here, you might change them and might add a few too, okay? I'll say that. But let me tell you how this works. Because when you start looking for a virtual assistant, you might find that there's people that come to you that say, hey, listen, we're an agency. Okay. And then there might be a solo, what do they call them? Freelancer. Okay. Now I've worked with both, and I'm telling you that they both have issues and they both have positives too, really. Well, but anyway, what I like is, I like working with a good solo freelancer, but on the Western Hemisphere side. But what I like is a Filipino or some Eastern Hemisphere virtual assistant that came from a agency. And I'll give you an example. There's an agency, and let me see if I can I'll add let me see if I can add this. This is a agency that I've used successfully. If you're interested in it, and I'll throw it on the screen. It's right here in the bottom, right over here. Yep. va4rei.com. And they also may have some really good Western Hemisphere ones. Working with an agency is nice if it's a real agency, and you might look into it a little bit and see if they've got reviews and such, because, you can say you're an agency. That doesn't make you an agency, but the ones that are like this one, that's a really good agency. It's it's like they help manage those VAs for you, okay? And they'll call you and check on you or send you a message and say, "Hey, is things going okay? Would you like us to make any changes?" And you might say, "Yeah, that VA is not working out," and they might help work it out where you get a different VA. Or what's nice is there is a team effort among the agency virtual assistants where they will a lot help one another in an agency scenario. So you will be assigned a point man. So your virtual assistant may be a male or female, but you will have that one contact besides management that you could reach out to. And that one contact, though, that VA is in a room with several other VAs who will assist that VA. So in other words, you may say, "Hey, we need to put some Craigslist ads up." And they may say, "Oh, well, hey, we can do that. Great. I don't do that, but so and so over here in our office will do it." And I'll just act like it's me. And that's fine. You don't care as long as it gets done. They'll work as a team. Okay, in other words. So you can do that if you talk to an agency. Okay, here, listen up, guys. If you talk to an agency, make them give you 3 qualified candidates for your job, for your ad post here, for your job ad. Give us 3. Okay, I want 3, and I want you to interview them all. And as you interview them, I want you to ask this question. Okay, all right. This is the interview question. Interview questions. Sorry. Lead pre-qualifier assistant. Can you tell me about your job experience? How many hours do you have to work each day? And can you work the hours that I need you to work? What happened to the other jobs you've had? Do you have any references? Okay. If you're in my coaching club, I've got a video where we one day went and interviewed 2 or 3 virtual assistants. Okay. At this point, if you're impressed, go ahead and ask more questions. I would like the work to be done before this time and such. I get a lot of leads that need to be called. Are you familiar with calling leads? Your job would be to call my leads during that time using my script. Yeah, there's a script. Okay, would you be willing to do a cold reading of the script for me now? Wow, that's a big one, everybody. Okay, if I want to hire you on a trial 30 days, when can you start? I pay $10 an hour and I give $500 bonus for every sale. Okay. You might change this, make it, especially if it's, what I really do, and I don't know why this says 5, because I'm kind of surprised I put 5 there because I normally do 3. All right. If you want to know, I pay $10 an hour and $300 bonus every sale we close. Okay. Listen, you don't want these people to get rich and then forget about you. Okay. But you don't want them to be so poor that they got to work for somebody else and they forget about you. Okay. So you want to strike a good balance. Okay. So here's another an option when you're negotiating. Okay. So instead of if he says, "Well, I can't do $10 an hour, but I'll do it for 12." Okay. Well, you don't start. First of all, you don't offer 10 at first. You say, "Well, we could do 8, and then 9." Okay. Well, we could do 10. You don't start out at 10. So, but you might start out at 10. I don't know. Depends. But anyway, you negotiate here. If he wants $12 an hour, maybe you could afford that. But then you drop the bonus down a little. Okay, well, I'll pay you more hourly, but you're getting a smaller bonus. Okay, you see what I'm doing there? Okay. Before I go, if I hire you, are you open to more hours and more responsibilities after your 30-day trial? What am I doing a 30-day trial? Yeah, because I might can this guy. All right. Make sure their internet is strong. Okay. And I don't mean to sound weird or nothing, but ask them about religious holidays and days off. Ask them about how many times they got to take journeys to the village and whatever else they got to do. Okay. It's real. They have lives, everybody. They have lives. Okay. So they, The worst thing is when you don't know that you just hired an Islamic, virtual assistant, but you don't understand that there is a thing called Ramadan and it's important to them. And there's certain hours and certain things that they may or may not be able to do at certain times. And you didn't ask and they didn't think to tell. And now here you are and you're like, wow, where have they gone? Well, I'm just trying to warn you. All right. You got to put it in perspective here, people. All right. Virtual assistant agreement. If you're local to the virtual assistant, this is definitely something you want to do. If you're local to your operations manager, this could easily be changed to operations manager. All right. You could easily change this document and hire yourself a local operations manager. Maybe it's somebody you work with at your job. Maybe it's a close relative. I doubt it. Families don't usually work good together. Okay. But maybe it's an old friend from school, or maybe it's a neighbor that you've always been fond of. I don't know, but operations manager or virtual assistant agreement, if you need something to protect yourself and to kind of outline what's going down between the two of you, this agreement here is something that I have never found anyone else to offer anywhere but me. Okay. So this is a very unique to Justin type thing, I think. I could be wrong. Now there's like a shitload of people watching. It's crazy, man. You guys, I love you all. Thank you. All right. Anyway, this is the agreement. I'm not going to read it to you, for crying out loud. You can read it yourself, but you can see, edit the thing, change it up, make it yours. All right. Now, the next thing here is we have a seller lead pre-qualification training guide. This is how you're going to train the VA. Okay. So this is actually a little handbook that you can even cut and paste this out and create something, a document for your virtual assistant or operations managers. All right. And this is their core responsibilities. I've got it outlined for you for them. Outlined for you for them. Okay. Now a bunch of people ain't watching again. You guys trip me out, man. What in the world? Oh my God. All right. Here we go. Distinguished motivated sellers. Good leads from unmotivated sellers. That's their job. You got one job to do. That's what I tell my virtuals. You got one job to do. And I don't care if they're good or they're bad. And I know you want them to be good so much because you're a good person. But your job is to find the good ones in the middle of a whole bunch of bad ones. So set the expectation with your virtual assistant that they're not here to close sales. That's your job. You're going to be closer. They're going to be presenting you with warm, silky, smooth, delicious leads. All right. Remind them that their job is to be empathetic and patient and professional. Okay. You can record these people. You can record them on Vocaroo.com. You can record them on Stripe. I mean, not Stripe. You can you can record them on Skype. All right. Their job, part of it is to facilitate scheduling appointments with you. Okay. So maybe their job is in the morning, going through leads and setting up appointments for you to call sellers in the evening when you're available. Hint, hint. Okay. Engage with friendly yet professional tone. Oh, here's a little script for you for voicemail. Okay. Hello, this is Justin. We noticed your property listing at 123 Apple Cart Way. We're interested in purchasing homes in your area and would like to discuss making an offer today. Whether you've sold or not, please call me back at this number. We appreciate your time. Beep. Or whatever. All right. Script outline for live pre-qualification calls. This is what you're going to use, all right, to build your woo-foo. Okay, your woo-foo. Let me see. Did I erase that? There it is. Here's the woo-foo form. Okay. This is what you're going to use to build your form. This is what you want your virtual assistant to say when they get your lead on the phone. Okay. So why is it not a script? Well, I have a script. See, look, this is mine for mine. All right. You need to create yours, but this is what I use to create mine. The first question needs to be, am I speaking to the owner? The next question needs to be, are we talking about your house at 123 Apple Cart Way? Well, my name is Justin, and my name is Sarah, and my partner is Justin. Okay. Confirm their intent. All right. Motivation about selling their house. Ask some questions. Price, time frame, commitment. We talked about this earlier in our members only role play. Appointment setup. Here's another script. Great. Thank you for providing this valuable information. You see, the virtual assistant is just on a fact-finding mission. He's on a fact-finding mission. He's not trying to close deals. He's trying to take the bull's horns for you. Okay? Great. Thank you for providing this valuable info. I'm excited to help you explore your options. I'll arrange a meeting with my boss, Justin, who can answer your questions and present our offer tailored to your situation. We offer both cash and other things to ensure you get other things. It sounds like I'm offering. We offer both cash and alternative solutions to ensure you get the best outcome. Does that sound okay to you? That sounds more than okay. All right. Here we go. Remember, your goal is professional fact finding. All right. This is a script outline for your VA when you go to build your pre-qualification online web form script for your VA team. Now, I've included here at the end of this bundle in this workbook, I've included 2 dispositions checklists. And I hope you find this extremely helpful. This will teach you a lot about the business, how it flows, but this will also help you equip your virtual assistant team. All right. So that's for pretty houses. And this is a dispositions checklist over here for ugly houses. Okay. Because there's a little bit of different, and this is if you're a wholesaler. Okay. By the way. All right. So that is the complete workbook. Hey, we survived. We made it. We made it. We made it through the workbook. All 24 pages. Yes, that's right. So go get the workbook if you haven't got it yet. Go get it. It's down here scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Boop, 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 boop. Shutupmoney.com. Or you could scan the QR code right up here in the top left-hand corner. Either way, but go get that workbook and get started. At least, if you don't get started, at least get started daydreaming about it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with daydreaming about it. Okay. That's all. All right. So go over there, get that, start filling in some answers. For some of you, the checklist provided a little bit of resource for you to understand what tools you're going to need. All right. So maybe go get some tools set up and get them ready. All right. So in other words, you might not be ready to hire a virtual assistant, but now you at least have the equipment and you are acquiring the tools and the infrastructure in order to do it. Okay. Okay. I wonder if we have any questions. I haven't checked the chat, guys. I'm sorry. Somebody was giving me a round of applause. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Here we go. Somebody's asking about automation. When you send text through REI Reply, do you have to have an LLC? Well, let me answer that question with this response here. Let me find it for you, okay? Because this is a big deal. Hold on. Let me see if I can get there. I gotta find her. Yeah, is everybody ought to go get in the group on Facebook, REI Reply Wholesaling with Automation. But anyway, let me show you here. I asked Susan Ishman. She is the support leader over there. And this is what she said. I asked her that same question. Do I have to have an LLC? Okay. And she said, oh, sorry, Rashid. She said, hey, Justin, nope, no need for a social security number or an EIN number or LLC or anything for a sole proprietor. Now, this was July 20th, so I don't know, maybe something's changed, but I wouldn't think. I've been using REI Reply on some new accounts without an LLC, so it's been okay. She says here the only thing needed is a real website, and you can send up to 1,000 a day, but only 200 brand new people per day per number. Okay. No need for an EIN or actual business for the sole proprietor. All right. And I said, well, is the caller ID going to be all scammy and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Is the caller ID going to be all sketch? And she says here, no, the caller ID will be set by you. Okay. You don't have to use that whatever CNAM is what it shows up as. All right. So I hope that answers your question. That's right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Okay. She's the best of the best of the best, sir. So I trust what she has to say. And here we have a question. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat room before we wrap up tonight. And everybody, thank you for scanning this QR code. You are freaking awesome. I want you to remember that. All right. I'm tired tonight, guys. It's kind of been a rough month for my family. It's just been it's been one of those months. Praise the Lord. So, yes. And I think that makes me, what I think that makes me? I think that makes me human. All right. Hey, you know what? Pray for me if you think about it. You know why? Because I need the prayer and you need the practice. All right. So let's go ahead and help me out. Do I use my VAs year round? Yes, I do use them year round. I'm not sure what you mean why I wouldn't, but I do use them year round. Okay. Good VAs are not found. Okay. Let me say this in summary before we wrap up. And that is that good VAs are not found, they are made. Okay. You make a good VA. I've had bad VAs, man. Ooh-wee, I've lost money. Oh, I was going to give you an example. I don't know. I got sidetracked earlier. Sorry. I was going to give you an example of I left a password. Let's just hang out and chill for a few minutes, guys. If you're cool with that, go ahead and put some stuff in the chat if you want. I'll open up the chat. If anybody wants to chat, they can. But anyway, I had this, how we used to do it is we used to have a computer here in the office that was just a desktop computer. And it would sit over here at a little table, and it was all by itself. Like, just, we never used it. And so what we did was we set up TeamViewer on it. And TeamViewer is like a computer sharing application so that virtual assistant in the Philippines can be on, or wherever, can be on my computer, using my computer to post on Craigslist and do other things that you need to have a local, what do they call it? VPN or whatever. So yeah, you've got to have a local thing, or otherwise they'll can you, or put you in jail or whatever, virtual jail. Anyway, we were using TeamViewer, and so every day at that specific time, my virtual assistant would log in to my computer, and I could see him using my computer to do the tasks that I asked him to do. So it was a great way to monitor him as well. Well, except one night I'm in the office with my wife, and all of a sudden we see the computer start moving over there on the screen. And so we look over, and it's like, what's going on? And I'm like, it must be the virtual assistant in here doing something. I don't know. And yeah, it was the virtual assistant logged into TeamViewer, and he was in there looking at porn. He was looking up some booty calls on Backpage.com. And I was like, thank God my wife was sitting here when this happened, because can you imagine if she was like, hey, can you explain why there's booty calls here on Backpage.com? Why did you go to www.bootycall.com? I'd be like, I don't know, that's a mystery, baby. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. I didn't do it. So anyway, you got to be careful what you give passwords and stuff. You got to think through your infrastructure. So this workbook is important because it'll help guide you through some of these thoughts that you should be having while setting up your business to use virtual assistants. All right, so hopefully, you can have you can find a talented virtual assistant, and then you can teach them. And this is how it will have to work if you're to be successful. You'll have to find a talented virtual assistant that speaks good English. You'll have to teach them how to do what you want them to do with crystal clear instructions. Then you will need to inspect what you expect every day for about the first month to make sure that they're doing everything to your standards and quality. And I want you to ride them if they're not. That's right. I want you to ride them if they're not. I want you to threaten them. I'm going to fire you. That's how you threaten them. Listen, this is not up to par. This is not what I need done. I need it done this way. Am I clear? Are my instructions clear? If they're not, I will spend more time explaining them. Once you have clear instructions and they acknowledge clear instructions have been given to them, you can tell them, hey, listen, if you do not have this ready to go like I like this week, by Friday, I will fire you. That's how you do it, okay? That's how you do it. All right, so, and you know what? They want to please you, most of them. Most of them want to please you if you are not a clown. If you have crystal clear instructions and you know what you're doing and you're monitoring them, okay? They will do a good job for you. All right. They just wanting to take care of their families too. And you're a guaranteed steady Eddie for them. All right. Which is another thing. Don't get in a situation where you're asking people to work for you for free. Okay. I don't know if you've heard, but Abraham Lincoln, he passed a law that kind of outlawed some of that slavery stuff. So don't be trying to con anybody now. Get a good guy. Teach him what to do, or a good gal, teach her what to do. And then as she or he develops, move them into an operations manager position and get them to hire on your tab, because you should be making money by now. You should have them hire a virtual assistant for themselves, okay, to help you in your business. So maybe that virtual assistant does the work of lead gen, and then the operations manager is just doing pre-qual. Okay, just a thought. Okay. Duplicate the same idea on the disposition side, and you've got an entire outsourced business, except for your oversight. Okay. All right. Now I know folks have to go and all that, and I'm hungry, and my wife, she's so sweet. She made me a big old pot of soup beans. It's like pork and beans, like not pork and beans, but like ham, ham bone and beans. Soup beans, and then cornbread with the butter and all that. It's going to be really good It's just gonna be fire. Might throw a little Tabasco sauce in there, mix it all up with the cornbread. Good. Might even get a little salad with ranch. I love everybody. Hey, I hope you had a good time tonight. I hope you learned something. Is there anything else in the chat? We don't see anything in the chat. Everybody's been kind of quiet tonight, and that's fine. I love you guys. I hope you got something from this, and we will see you again next time. Next week, we are planning on having with us Mr. Bob Vieira. We are going to have a very special time with Bob because next week I am asking him to talk about stopping foreclosure sales. And the crowd goes wild. Stopping foreclosure sales. That's right. Why would you ever want to do that? Oh, gee, I don't know. So we can take over the world? Maybe. Is that it? Is that what we're going to do? That's what these people did.
Yeah, mother.
There you go. Oh, I got spotlight. Hold on.
Spotlight.
I'm crazy, I'm bad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you back. Go live it up, cash in the bag. Stadium pack. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Shut up! Shut up! Like an outcast. Shut up! I ain't gonna take that.
Fire my balls. Fire my balls. Fire my balls. Fire my balls. I fired my balls.
Are you serious?
I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
Bring that down. You know, when I come on this camera, I'll make the bike go down. Bring that down, Justin. Reach for it, Justin. Don't be scared. Reach and bring that mother down. 13,000. Justin, 13,000. Closed on Friday. Friday we just closed.
That's what's up. Congratulations. Yeah.
Yes.
So I ended up making 38, 744.20.
Yeah.
I got rid of the headache.
Ring that mother bell.
Good.
She's a killer. She's an assassin.
Assassin. Yeah. Get him.
But I got saved.
Like.
Justin here, and if you've got REI Reply and you want to start getting 1 to 7 motivated seller leads a day like I do, or if you don't have REI Reply and you would like to have REI Reply and have it making for you 1 to 7 leads every day like I have, then here's an opportunity for you. I will build out your REI Reply to look just like mine. In fact, I will load for sell by owner data into it for you as well, and I will return it to you making 1 to 7 leads every single day, and also filtering out all the bad ones and like kind of showing you the good ones right here on a silver platter. All right, if that sounds good to you, then below the video, you know what to do. See you on the inside. On the back of your car. You can put it on the back of your car. I have to have a good lead. How about this? Cheap. Let's be either ready to either sell or rent. One or the other. And there's one more, you guys. They must want to talk to me. Wouldn't that be nice? You will have people call you. It's so effective. You will have people calling you, asking you if you take over other kinds of payments as well. Ugly house wholesalers. When you get tired of ugly house wholesaling, try pretty house wholesaling. These are literally everywhere. I bet you've got a few pretty houses for sale on your street. Let's talk soon.